We do have, though, a program that works and inspires and makes people better versions of themselves. Cindy Ben's Go Free Spotlight of the Week was of Dallas Malloy, and I'm going to read at least some of it to you right now. Dallas Malloy is an exceptional human being, and she has found that she is only a fraction of what she is able to be, physically, mentally, and spiritually, by way of the practice of Go Free. And she says so in this spotlight over on the No Why Guilt Quora, nowhyguilt.quora.com. You should be a member and follow and read over there, especially since we have the great Cindy Ben here, journalist extraordinaire. Go Free Spotlight of the Week, Dallas Malloy. Arm outstretched, clenched fists. The picture on her book shows that Dallas Malloy knows how to deliver that 1-2 punch. And as a pioneering woman in boxing, she has now discovered Jason Köhne at No White Guilt and is fighting for white well-being. Quote, "Our survival is on the line," said Malloy. "As the anti-white fog is being cleared from my sight, I can now see the situation is dire. The continuation of our white race depends entirely on overcoming and conquering anti-whiteism, or we're doomed to total destruction, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. The revelations keep coming as I venture further on this great path." What path is it? It's the path of the Go Free dialogic and practice. But the moment that really clinched it for me was a video of Jason saying, "Whatever you think you are capable of physically, double that. Whatever you think you are capable of mentally, triple that. Whatever you think you are capable of spiritually, quadruple that." That sort of high-level, self-actualizing language is where I live. His words and energy were exactly for me, close quote. And energy she has. Malloy made boxing history in '93 when at age 16, she became the first female boxer in the U.S. to have sanctioned amateur bout after winning her discrimination lawsuit for the right to box and set up a women's division. She is now a 2023 International Women's Boxing Hall of Fame inductee and professional coach, and just released her new book, Stand Up and Fight, Words of Courage from a Woman's Boxing Pioneer to Unlock Your Faith and to Conquer Fear. In addition, she is a professional actor and musician, as well as a classical pianist since the age of 6. Malloy discovered Köhne, and exceptional people, exceptional white people, exceptional non-white people. They discover me, they discover Go Free, they discover this community, and they say yes. Not dysfunctional, not maladaptive people, not neurodivergent people, angry, ugly people who make up the swarms of followers for others. Exceptional human material, the exceptional human capital that in an interview we watched recently, they said, well, we really got to attract the exceptional human capital. That's what we do here. And we make them better. Malloy discovered Köhne and the No Why Guilt community, and she noticed a profile on Twitter that said white well-being advocate. Quote, "I'd never heard this term and immediately thought I could use some of that. I had been becoming more and more aware, or more and more fed up, over the last few years with the hate toward white people, and I was seeing and experiencing the positivity and simple beauty of the term white well-being attracted me. And the posts I was seeing by No White Guilt advocates were smart, powerful, positive, and completely solution-oriented. I knew this was exactly what I needed. When I saw Jason's intriguing profile, I ordered Go Free." She said, close quote. Kuhne's book, Go Free, A Guide to Aligning with the Archetypal Western Kind, outlines the Go Free method of argumentation, lexicon, and concepts to empower us against anti-whiteism so that we can go free of the anti-white narrative. He explains meme pathogens or destructive anti-white ideas that infect our mind and provides meme curatives to combat these pathogens. Malloy calls the book, quote, straight from the divine, a gift to the world, close quote. Big thank you so much, Dallas. I mean, that's just, quote, as I work my way through it, a transformational process, not to be rushed. More and more is being revealed about how I have endured psychological warfare since babyhood and how it's affected every aspect of my life in work, relationships, sense of self, everything. It reminds me of getting sober and being in treatment. Raw, emotional, revealing, difficult, but right, and absolutely necessary. It's hard to realize you've been deceived, abused, and cheated, but it's essential in order to overcome the effects, recover, and reach my full potential, close quote. One of Malloy's favorite lessons from the book so far is learning about our biospirit or instinct of each race, quote, and delving into how that's been overlooked in my life, trampled on, not understood or honored by myself and others. Undoing the meme pathogen that we're all just individuals and actually appreciating my race and unique biospirit is extremely empowering and also brings a comfort I never even realized I was lacking. Jason's unapologetic passion and brilliance delivering life-saving words and remedies have given me an arsenal to make every aspect of my life better, stronger, more successful, and more everything that I am meant to be. It's difficult to describe the outpouring of love and support he shows to our community. I think his heart is as big as his massive brain. Thank you, Dallas. I appreciate it. This overachiever is totally at home here, remarked Köhne, reading the list of accomplishments and accolades from the back of Malloy's book. Quote, this is the kind of people we need, a true champion. You've come home, sister. This is where you're meant to be, to recapture our destiny, close quote. Indeed, Malloy's mission is to let people know that anti-whiteism is real, deadly, and must be urgently dealt with. I mean, as we can see with Holly. Quote, and Go Free is the remedy. The Go Free community is extraordinary. They demonstrate daily what it means to act as a people, supportive, honest, intelligent, thoughtful, loving, passionate, and laser focused on the well-being of our people throughout the world. Close quote. Malloy has made spreading the Go Free lexicon a part of her daily life, fueled by love for her people, righteous anger over our victimization, and the passion to end anti-whiteism. She interacts and posts on Twitter X, attends Köhne's No White Guilt online gatherings when possible, watches his videos, reads from Go Free, and does the written work within the book. She also is incorporating the concepts into a music project in publicity interviews and one-on-one conversations. Quote, everywhere I have opportunity to talk, I'm using the lexicon. To anyone starting out, I would say congratulations on making one of the greatest decisions of your life, and God bless journey. Take your time. It's a marathon. It's a marathon, not a race. Be patient with people around you. Start using the lexicon little by little without force. Keep going and never quit. One of the first friends I started talking to about it began using the lexicon shortly after. It was awesome because I hadn't forced it, but just honestly shared about discovering Go Free and how I was identifying anti-whiteism everywhere so clearly, feeling like a weight has been lifted, having the lexicon at my fingertips, and clarity of thought, feeling like a weight has been lifted, having the lexicon at my fingertips, and clarity of thought like never before are continual victories. I share about it without force, but with passion, from the perspective of wanting to share something that's helped me so much and has opened my eyes to many things that now I am able to see much clearer. Close quote. Malloy takes advantage of opportunities that may arise, such as publicity pre-interview in Los Angeles, where she was asked about the city and replied that it is extremely white erased. Oh my goodness. This opened the door to discuss what white erasure meant. And even though the interviewer had not heard the term, she understood it immediately and was very receptive for a deeper conversation. Imagine that. Imagine also, folks, the Dallas Malloys of the world, white true champions, people who are motivated by love, hope, and redemption, people who want to end our people's victimization on the basis of our birth, restoring our mores and sensibilities to our countries. Think about them in all of these different walks of life where they're going to people society. They're going to be actors. They're going to be fighters. They're going to be physicians. They're going to be garbage collectors. They're going to be lawyers. They're going to be doctors and generals. And they're going to be, some of them, very articulate. Some of them will be wealthy. Some of them will be adept at persuasion. They're going to be moving through their communities in a way that is infinitely beyond the imagination of any individual of any IQ. And that is, of course, how it has to be to recapture our destiny. Not a redoubt somewhere in the hills. Not a persona that can articulate and argue a case against another race of mankind better than you can. It's going to be empowered white people of all aptitudes, wealth levels, social classing, and etc., picking up the lexicon and carrying that mighty sword into the conflict of our conversations, bringing over more and more good white people. That is the only way it could ever work. How many times, with all due respect to people who celebrate the growing audience of this movement or that endeavor or whatever, these different places, how many times are people showing up in those environments saying to those content creators, we've got a chance because of that no white guilt community? How many times are people showing up saying that to those content creators? People are finally getting it because of the no white guilt community. Quote, I find it fairly easy to talk about it because the more comfortable I have become with the terminology, the more it has become part of me and my life. Also, any hesitation I may have felt before disappeared when thinking about the desperate urgency of ending our victimization. Close quote. So far, family and friends have been receptive to Go Free, and Malloy remains patient and consistent, acknowledging that sometimes people need to hear things multiple times for seeds to grow. Like many in the community, she also has come across people who wrongly imagine that those advocating for white well-being must somehow harm non-whites, which she rightfully attributes to the psychological warfare of anti-whiteism. Think about how, if I could interrupt Dallas right there, think about how important it is to not play the villain in the anti-white narrative, since your audience of white people that matter are already looking for evidence that you want to harm non-white people to have well-being for white people. She goes on, quote, I hope Go Free will make us a people, destroy the anti-white narrative, change the social morality to white positive, and break the shackles of the psychological warfare white people have been abused with, transforming and freeing us. I hope it spreads like wildfire to the point where, for the majority, it becomes second nature. I hope to see our Western norms restored fully and for financial and legal retroactive restoration to happen. I hope to become so white positive that it makes being anti-white extremely uncomfortable and a source of shame. God bless you, Dallas. Yes. Let's have the anti-whites feel shame, not the Hollies of the world. Dallas writes on, I hope there are devastating legal ramifications for anti-whiteism and we become a protected class, close quote. If white people are a people again, and we reclaim and repair our Western norms and sensibilities, all people will benefit because it will weed out white and non-white anti-whites and push them into the fringes, Malloy contends. That is why she strives to build the Go Free community in every way she can, utilizing her voice, skills, and expertise to empower us and massively further our reach. Quote, I hope to bring love, encouragement, and inspiration that changes lives. I hope and believe we are making history right now that is changing the course of our future to something even greater than ever before. I want people to look back and say, we were the ones who shifted the social morality to white positive and eradicated anti-whiteism from the face of the earth. That we were the ones who saved Western civilization and Western kind. And so we flourished and prospered and achieved like never before. Think about that for a second, close quote. Think about, what does Dallas sound like right there? The hero in our story. That's what she sounds like. She sounds like the hero in our story. She doesn't sound like some cringing cur begging for everybody to be selfishly individualistic, to abide by some anti-white morality, than some idiotic notion of eudaimonic multiracialism. She doesn't sound like some cringing shadow following around another group of human beings and bad-mouthing them. She sounds like she's holding a sword and she's standing on a mountain peak and wind is blowing through her clothing. That's what she sounds like, white race. Why is that so hard for you? Quote, no words will ever be sufficient for expressing my gratitude and appreciation for Jason Köhne and his work. He is a lightning bolt in this world that struck me at the perfect moment to set me on fire for white well-being. Go Free has changed my life. I have mental clarity like never before, and I am able to recognize anti-whiteism and the devastating effects of white erasure everywhere. The process of introspection is something I do regularly in a continual effort for self-improvement and spiritual awareness. So I fully embrace the practice of seeking and identifying the anti-white mental conditioning I've been infected with all my life. The lexicon is a curative toolkit that has educated and empowered me to overcome mean pathogens and freed me from getting trapped in the anti-white narrative, close quote. Malloy's advice for those who are unsure or think they are too busy for white well-being and going free is to think about how white people are the most victimized race. And this will be the last paragraph we read. Quote, we are the only unprotected class, specifically men, and we are villainized relentlessly by the anti-white media. We are being told constantly to destroy ourselves. Think about the white babies being born right now into a world that will tell them they are evil. The suicide rate for white men should be addressed as a national emergency, yet it is never mentioned. The psychological warfare ends when we say it ends. And it doesn't take a huge percentage of us, just the ones who decide to end it. There's nothing more important. Close quote. Let's get some big quadruple 07s. Get her some crowns for the great Dallas Malloy. This is the white race. The cringing mutts that want to just hate on other groups of mankind, want to follow and complain their whole lives about other groups of mankind, who want to take no responsibility, who want to repair nothing. They want to sit around and talk about history or talk about philosophy or craven off into the hills or whatever it might be. Those are not the heroes. Those are not the white race. The Dallas Malloys are the white race. What we just read there is in keeping with the way our people have behaved throughout all the glory of our history. Big salutes to you, Dallas. Big salutes to Cindy Ben for this spotlight project. What a genius idea that was to put that together, and you've stuck with it despite all the censorship, despite all the efforts of the anti-whites to keep you down. God bless you, sister. Big salutes, both of you. These are true champions of the West. I hope you can see the difference. First Last echoing, saying, it is straight from the divine. God bless you. Thank you for that, good sir.